Hello everybody, welcome back to the James Lawrence Allcott channel. It's that time of the season, it's the end of the season. We're going to be ranking every Premier League team. I'm going to be giving you a stat on each team as well, which will be really interesting and of good value. And I'm going to be giving you the power at the end. As ever, with a JLA tier list, we will be allowing you to make one change. Now, the tiers have been difficult, but I've got them together and I'm excited to chat about it. If you're excited too, then make sure you smash the like button and get yourselves involved. So, this is what we've got here. You guys will be voting for this as well when it comes to going through each team, but also at the end of it. Team of the season. Who is the team of the season? Now, a lot of people think that's definitely Liverpool. I'm not so sure. I think it's massively up for debate. And there is one question that Neda Manua asked me yesterday. Yes, I'm dropping his name in a video because we're friends now, apparently. Well, I do pay him. But importantly, he asked me a question that made me think, oh my good God, is it actually Liverpool that are team of the season? So that question will be asked and cages will be rattled. Team of the season. Can be proud. You can be proud. What have you done this season to make yourself proud? Oh. Good, but was it good? I nearly changed it to good, but was it good enough? Poor, new low. People wanted a Man United tier on its own. But also, again, I have a stat in my back pocket. I'm going to go get that in a minute. That would reveal that possibly there are other teams that should be lower than Man United. It's going to be a stretch. It's going to be difficult. But we'll see. Okay? What I will say is that there is a very, very important message I would like you to listen to right now. And it involves me saying the words erectile and dysfunction in a serious manner. So if you don't want to check that out, then I don't know what's wrong with you. I'm happy to say that today's video is sponsored by Manual, a men's healthcare company that is challenging the idea that men just shrug their shoulders and carry on. And in that spirit, I'm going to be taking a test as part of the Manual TRT service. So what are the stats when it comes to low testosterone in men? Well, 1 in 4 men suffer from low testosterone, and 90% of those men are undiagnosed. So when it comes to low testosterone, what are the symptoms for men? There's low sex drive, low muscle mass, low energy, which is one for me. Sometimes I feel like really super drowsy. Weight gain, erectile dysfunction, low mood and anxiety, lack of focus. Sometimes that can be a problem for me as well. And poor sleep quality, another one that I sometimes struggle with my sleep quality. And that's why I'm going to take the test to get a comprehensive diagnosis and from there, if I need to, a bespoke plan. So join over 30,000 men who are taking that first step, having the knowledge to give them the power to treat their low testosterone levels by ordering this diagnostic test. It's a quick at-home finger prick blood test, which I have just done myself. It was crazy easy to do, to be honest. So if you share any of those symptoms or you're just curious to know what your testosterone levels are, then get involved. Take an at-home testosterone test, get the knowledge, and therefore get the power. Life's all about investing in yourself and trying to better yourself, and this is a great way of getting a little bit more knowledge on your body. So use the code ALLCOTT45 and get yourself 45% off your at-home testosterone blood test kit. Thank you for listening. Links in the description. Okay. There you have it. Massive thank you to Manual. It's obviously an important message, joking aside, and there's a link in the description if you are suffering from any of those symptoms and, yeah, you just want a bit more knowledge on it. So do click on the link and inform yourself a little bit more. Right, let's get into this tier list. Gear change, people, gear change. And do you know what I'm going to start with? Get involved here, people, because I'm intrigued. Which kind of club should we be talking about when we're thinking about the tier good, but was it good? Okay, I'll kick us off. Who's picking itself out at me? Good, but was it good? Well, I guess from a start, Fulham. Here we go. Fulham's an awkward one, right? Here's your stat on Fulham. Fulham earned 54 points in the Premier League this season, which is the highest ever return in a single campaign. So it sounds like it's a good season for them, right? And so that makes life tricky for me because that stat doesn't help me. Because actually I feel like that squad had a lot more going for it than where it ended, despite it ending in a solid position. I think this is going to be the problem here. And the problem going forward when it comes to predictions is there's a lot of traffic in that top half of the table. Like that squad, that Fulham squad, where would you rank that Fulham squad? That's the question for me. Like, is that Fulham squad where it ended up in the league, which was I should know this, obviously. 11th. Finishing 11th. Is that, is that okay? Is that enough? Could they have done better? Should they have been above Brentford? Should they have been above Bournemouth this season? Should they have been above Nottingham Forest this season? Could they have done more? Fulham squad's poor, people saying. Interesting. I think it's certainly not been a poor season. I think they're a good starting point for good, but is it good? People think they overachieved. I think they did just fine. I think we would have put them there and thereabouts. They already overperformed. I don't know. I'm not having it. I'm sticking with good, but is it good? I think could you get more out of some of those players? They actually gave away a lot of points. A lot of points from leading positions. I think maybe the most in the league, if not the second most. So I'm going to put good, but was it good? Because I think they could have finished just that little bit higher. Next up, let's go Everton. I think with the change in fortune, obviously it depends on how your season finishes with how you often feel about that season, right? But I would suggest that Everton, at the start of the season, I had them kind of knocking in and around where they were. And so I think it wasn't poor, and it could have been a lot worse. I don't rate that squad personally. I think there's going to be so much change this summer. I think they can be excited about that. But I think David Moyes has worked absolute wonders there. Can they be proud? Can they be proud? Do you know what? To get themselves, the context is important here, I think. To get themselves to the new stadium, safe and sound, I think is absolutely huge here. Absolutely huge. The way they were able to finish the season, and with that squad as well, I think maybe you're right, guys. I think maybe they can be proud. Here's your stat for Everton. Since the weekend of the 18th, 19th of January, when David Moyes won his first game following his return, only Liverpool, Man City and Chelsea won more points than Everton with 31. Proud of a bottom half finish is not where they should be, says Ollie Rogers. It's a good point. Good, but is it good? Yeah. Oh, in terms of where they want to be, yeah, I'm going to go there. I'm going down one. I feel like it's a push when you finish 13th. Do you know what I mean? Although I was absolutely, especially from where they were, they've done themselves proud. But as a season as a whole, I think you're right. It's good, but is it good? Okay, next up. Put in the teams that you want next up. Wolves. Where did we all have Wolves at the start of the season? I think we had them sort of middle of the road. But they finished 16th. Was that last season or this season? It feels like last season, doesn't it? I thought they finished the season quite badly, didn't they? Everyone's kind of like, wow, wow, wow. And obviously they did do very, very well. Pereira in particular failed to win any of their first 10 league games, but finished the campaign with 42 points. Only Newcastle United have ever won more points, having been winless after their first 10 games in a season. They got 45 in 2018 and 49 in 21-22. So I guess from that point of view, pretty solid. Would have been fine otherwise. I think would have been put under a different kind of pressure if these bottom three had been able to do a little bit more. Did we expect them to be higher than that? They survived, didn't they? And they had a lot of players they lost their key men at the start of the season. I'm sort of drifting between these places. Poor and good. Was it good? I think, do you know what? I'm going to go good, but was it good? Because I think going into the start of the season, and quite quickly, especially after those 10 games, you're thinking, this squad is nowhere near good enough. Oh, did they get away with it, though? I'm going back to poor. Changed my mind. Next up, where should we go? Let's do the bottom three, shall we? Leicester City. I mean, all the stats on these guys are pretty grim, let's be honest, sadly. So, first of all, Leicester. Between December and April, Leicester became the first team in English top-flight history to fail to score in 9 consecutive home... 9! Poor Leicester fans. Poor Leicester fans. Unbelievable. 9 consecutive home league games. You can't even get yourself a goal. Christ. Is it a new low? They have had bad seasons in the past. Probably not as low as this, though. I think when they have been down there, I remember a long time ago, I think they might have finished bottom, but not to this level, not to get the points that they've got. I think it's a new low. We'll do Southampton next. Southampton became the first team to lose 30 games in a 38-game top flight season, and the first team to lose 30 in a single Premier League campaign. Did dodge the record, though, didn't they? Did dodge the record. 12 points. Up yours, Derby. Have some of that. Second worst points tally ever. have gotten, these kind of teams, Leicester, Ipswich, Southampton, over the Premier League era, they have gone down a lot. But to go down in this manner is alarming. And I think there's a broader problem at play. Next season's going to be really, really interesting because I think most people believe that the 3 that go up are down before they even start. And will that galvanise those groups, or how will it make them behave? I'm intrigued. But yeah, Southampton, it's got to be a new low, hasn't it? I mean, just disgusting, isn't it? Like, at least be kind of close. 12 points. Good grief. Yeah. The tiers was really difficult. I put it on Twitter. Thank you for everyone who helped sort of inspire me to put together these tiers, because I did need your help massively. Ipswich. Ipswich is interesting. I think Ipswich, it's not a new low, obviously. 82 goals conceded is their most ever in a 38 league campaign, and most overall since 1994-95. I think to get those double promotions, they're obviously like ahead of schedule. They previously had conceded 93 and 42 games. Is it a new low? I think the difference between that with them is that obviously sort of bouncing up and bouncing down, there was a bit more adrenaline in the water, and I think there's adrenaline in the water. Adrenaline in the water. Adrenaline in the water. Wow. Smash that like button. Smash it. It will not get better than that. It's not going to get better than that. A new low. I think we've been so kind to Ipswich throughout this season. Like I said this to Nedham, I was like, who out of those 3 teams, let's just put them together for a second, who had the best squad? Southampton, Ipswich, or Leicester? I think adrenaline in the water. Do you know what, for the rest of this stream, every so often it's just going to hit me, and I'm going to have to say adrenaline in the water. Incredible. I think Ipswich probably had the best squad, and they've finished below Leicester. So there's an incredible stat, by the way, on Man United incoming. I feel like it is a new low. It's just sort of shrouded in an unexpected high, shall we say. Finished below that Leicester team. Ollie Rogers, superb work. Yeah. I think it is a new low. I think the thing is, say they go back up, they will be going, let's not do that again. And again, just to be clear, like, I'm not trying to have a go at those teams. I think it's so hard, and everyone's just like giving up on these teams before they even start. But like, to that point, I didn't give up on Ipswich. I really thought that squad was solid, or had potential. And it could be one where they go down, go back up, and it all changes, and they'll be absolutely fine. But that amount of points is not enough points. It's just not, is it? Let's be honest. So I'm going to go new low, and I appreciate if Ipswich fans are upset. I think it's more a sort of, it's the state of play in the Premier League, isn't it, when it comes to those teams coming up. Where should we go next? Brighton. So with a lot of these, it's like, if you could put them here, it'd be like, oh, look, he's flying. Wow. Imagine what fortune that it was the seagulls there. So if some I'm thinking here, I'm sort of like they're flirting between these, and then others I'm flirting between it was good, but was it poor? Brighton, depending on who you are and how you feel about your team, I think plucky little Brighton, you're doing this. But if you look at that squad, I'm kind of there. To be honest, in terms of my predictions, they ended kind of bang on. I just think they could have done better. See, look, Freddie says Brighton can be proud. Mr. Gonta Pot says poor. High end of good, low end of can be proud. Perfected in death. Wow, that's a great name. Come on, Brighton can be proud. I mean, yeah. I guess this is... Okay, here's the question. I'm going to have to... Sorry, I'm just seeing dust on my camera. Who are Brighton? Where are Brighton? What should Brighton? Okay? That's kind of quality you get off the cuff here. Can be proud. I can't do it. Good, but is it good? I can't. If you want to move it at the end, then we'll move it at the end. Let's see. Brentford. I think Brentford can be proud. I think Brentford... Oh, I haven't done... There's a few stats I've missed there, haven't I? Ipswich we did. Who did we miss? We missed Brighton's stat. Brighton. Danny Welbeck scored 10 goals in the Premier League for the first time in what was his 17th campaign in the competition. Congratulations. Brentford scored 66 goals in their... which is their most ever in a single Premier League season. And the G-Tech saw more goals than any other ground. 40 goals scored, 35 conceded, 75 in total. Great stat. They also had the best conversion rate with 19%. Great little stat there as well. Look, added stats. I think Brighton, you know, when we're saying it's like, where are they here? They're there for me. I'm tempted. Is anyone tempted to put them in there? And Bomo, adrenaline in the water. Yeah, I couldn't agree more. They're good. They think their squad is better than they actually finished. You're right. Brighton did have. I still put them there. I think they did have a lot of injuries. Yeah, you're right. Brentford team of the season. I'm going to move on to the next one. Tell me how you feel about that. They finished 10th. Proud as Max. But like, your main striker's gone. Most teams absolutely fall off a cliff when you lose that amount of goals. And they've been I think they've been sensational, Brentford. I really do. I'm going to keep it in team of the season for now, and we can look at it again. Let's do Bournemouth. Bournemouth sprinted more than any other team. I know that off the top of my head. Where's Bournemouth? There they are. Set the club records for fewest goals conceded, most goals scored, most wins, most points in a single Premier League season. To the Brighton point, and I guess Brighton have got a lot more depth than Brentford. Brentford had a lot of these sort of hybrid players who could, fill in spaces, which is why they were able to keep going. But they did fall away a little bit. Good, but was it good? I mean, it could. If the injury stayed out the way, they've got to be proud. You've got to be proud, haven't you? Plucky little Bournemouth. Got to be. Has to be. Team of the season candidates, says Lee Chambers. Yeah, should have gone for 7th. I think it could have been, with the quality in there. They haven't got the depth, but the quality that was there. Team of the season's close. Same points as Brentford. Probably spent a touch more. Do you know what? We'll come back to this. Let's let it acclimatise. Team of the season. Let's let it acclimatise. Brentford could be proud. Could they? Are they proud? That's the question. Can be. Yeah, good point. West Ham. Good grief. West Ham. They had a bad season. Jarrod Bowen was involved in 46% of West Ham's Premier League goals this season. 21 of the 46. 13 goals, 8 assists. Only Mo Salah had a higher share for his side. And because he plays in a similar position, Bowen doesn't get in Team of the Year. It's a disgrace. It's a disgrace. I mean, West Ham, what... Is it it's probably not a new... Is it a new low? It was bad, wasn't it? And it was turgid too. That's the problem for me with West Ham. It wasn't even enjoyable at all. It just felt like an absolute churn from all season long. Finished in 14th. Do you know what? If you say at the start of the season you're going to be above Man United and Tottenham, you'd feel like you got a chance. So you can always spin it. It's poor, isn't it? I think it's just poor. Didn't go down. And if you think of teams that they've had that have gone down, I think it's just poor. For this era, see, look, you can't do that. Robbie Strong, for this era of West Ham, it's a new low, surely. Well, you can't. You're making it smaller there. Can't do that, I'm afraid. Where should we go? Newcastle. Well, I mean, see, this is where maybe it acclimatises and you have to pop Bournemouth and Brentford down because obviously can be proud. Could they have done better in the league? I think they could have done much better. And won a title. Won a League Cup. So I think have to be in the conversation for Team of the Season. At the start of the season, if you'd ask a Newcastle fan, what are you hoping for? I think you're really... This is what you're hoping for. A trophy and Champions League football. Job done. Are we out? Here's a question for you all. Are we astounded by it? Was there enough adrenaline in the water? Incredible. I think we've got to be Team of the Season. And see, this is what I mean. It starts to reveal itself. Can we have those... Can we have Bournemouth and Brentford knocking about like that with Bournemouth kind of falling off a little bit? Yeah, not astounded. People aren't astounded. They hadn't invested much. After all the money, Jim, People saying, yeah. Okay, maybe we put them all together. I'm going to come back to you guys on team of the season at the end of this. They're in there at the moment, but it's all looking a bit shaky at the moment, let's be honest. Chelsea. Congratulations on your Conference League win. Expected to win that, let's be honest. It was looking a bit shaky for a second, wasn't it? But yeah, what a relief you won it. I think, here's your stat on Chelsea. Chelsea had the average age of Chelsea starting 11 across the season was 24 years and 36 days. That's the youngest ever across a full campaign in the competition. I think that is a really important context because you can have as much potential as you want, but like to have a group that young and to get Champions League football, I think bodes very, very well for this team. And you would imagine if they do, grow and develop together, and people can stay fit, and you can get a striker that can be that figurehead, or a backup at the very least, with Jackson. I think you're a problem. I think they can be proud, Chelsea. It's a good point. 2 billion you need minimum Champions League. I know, but it's probably a little bit more complicated than that. Let's be honest. In terms of that group that he picked and the pressure that's on them. And Cole Palmer kind of falling away a little bit at different times, in terms of output. To get over the line, I think they should be pleased with that. I think they can be proud. I think they can. Right, who's next? See, interesting ones all the way along the board now. Villa. So Villa is a sticky one, but I know where I sit. Aston Villa didn't lose any of their last 21 home games in all competitions this season. They won 15 and drew 6. That's their longest run without a defeat at Villa Park since a run of 24 between September 1976 and May 1977, and we all know how that ended. I actually am tempted to put Villa in can be proud because I think, yes, okay, they got so close to the line in the FA Cup, in the Champions League. They're very close to causing a huge upset in the Champions League. And in the league, they got robbed, didn't they? Right at the end there. So, if of course you didn't get over the line, but I think you can be proud over a 54-game season to have done as well as they've done, to get as close as they could have. Did yourselves proud in the Champions League as well. I'm quite, because I think some people go it was good, but was it good? Because it kind of wasn't, because you didn't win in, didn't get to that final when you probably should have. Certainly were favourites. Champions League was it was just a dream, wasn't it? But you know what? To battle with those European football and FA Cup and get that close to Champions League football, I think is incredible. Emery's a joke. I think you can be proud. What have you done this season to make yourself proud? I wish I had the singing thing on my stream deck again. I could do that again. That would be amazing. OGs no. Smash the like button, by the way, if you are enjoying this one. We can do more live streams if we get a decent response. Otherwise, what's the point? Do you know what I mean? Right, let's keep going. Man City. We've done a whole podcast with Nedum and Nua, setting straight the sort of malaise at Man City. They finished the game really well. I think they won 10 out of the last 12. Where's the stat on Man City? Here we go. A lot of points off what they did last season. I think that's the thing I'm probably going to come back to here. For just the second time in his 16 seasons as a top-flight manager, Man City boss finished trophyless. No, that's not. Yeah, that's not actually the stat. Man City boss finished a season outside the top 2 places, finishing third in 2016. I think it is there's literally no way around it. When you set a bar regularly, consistently, 90 points, and you get yourself 71, I think it was. Just even if you've got in the Champions League, which is good, isn't it? They've just set such a high bar, such a high bar. Why can't I speak? Such a high bar. So it's got to be poor. I think it's got to be poor, and I think Man City and I think Pep and everyone would accept that. Okay. Right, now we've got some juicy ones left off. And I am so confused with all of these. Let's start with Palace, shall we? Actually, let's start with Forest. Forest team of the season. Absolutely make no bones about it. Is that Samazon? Let me know. Can we get a check on that? They have been outstanding. They became only the second team to win 19 games in a Premier League season, but not finish in the top 6. I'll say that again. They became only the second team to win 19 games in a Premier League season and not finish in the top 6. And that's after Man United, of course, back in 2013-14, where they finished 17th. Also, the amount of 1-0 wins, the points difference. The points difference is absolutely wild. Like, in terms of them and then the next highest. Let me put this to you. Let me get it. I've just got all my stats with me. Here we go. So, and we've still got Tottenham and Man United to do, so I might stay here for a while because we've got these stats. Nottingham Forest, 65 points this season, 36 points last season. That is a points difference this season of 29. 29, right? Second, in terms of the points difference, sort of a better points difference, Brentford with 17. 29. Absolutely team of the season. I actually think, like that Nedum Manua question, that's the third time I've said his name. That Nedum Manua question, fourth, it's going to make a cat amongst the pigeons, the adrenaline amongst the pigeons. What is going on? Forest team of the season nominee, absolutely. No, of that, there's no doubt, as Jim White and Ali McCoy would say. Oh. Tottenham then. Right. I mean, I've put them in good, but was it good? So, back to that points difference situation, right? This season, they got 38 points. 38. That's like, you're not safe with 38 points most seasons over the Premier League era, right? The season before, 66 points. They've dropped off 28 points. That is a whole 10 more than Man United in terms of points difference to last season. So in terms of what your levels are at and how you're supposedly supposed to get better, they've gone back another 10 points on Man United. Another 10 points on Man United. Where Man United, they've gone like that. Tottenham have gone like that. But they have won a trophy. So what am I supposed to do? I think it's dangerous. The only thing I think, one must beware trophies. Okay, washing away all feelings on a season. That is my fear here. 17 years, mate. Poor, but was it poor? It's a great question. It's a poor season, isn't it? It's a new low, but it's a new high. Do you know what? The only place you can't put them is there. Can you be proud? Are you proud of that season? I mean, you can be buzzing with that season. I'm not sure you can be proud of it. Do you know what I mean? And actually, as I was making my tears, I was like, I kind of wanted someone that could be, they've won their first trophy in 17 years, and they can be proud of that. It's good, but was it good? Because they finished bloody 17th with 38 points. The worst points difference, negative points difference of any team in the Premier League. 28. 28. Can be proud, but was it good? Yeah. Honestly, this is the weirdest season ever. It's so weird. Here's your stat. Tottenham's 22 defeats is the highest ever in a 38-game top flight campaign for a team who weren't relegated. Indeed, their 26 defeats in all competitions, the most they've ever suffered in a single season. That's a new low. But they did get a trophy. They did get a bloody trophy. So good, but is it good? Lucky. And it just must make it even more annoying for Man United fans. Let's go to Man United then. Let's do that. And people said they wanted their own tier, which I get it. I mean, it has to be, doesn't it? It has to be. I mean, it literally is their worst ever season. 18 defeats was the most in a league campaign since 1973-74, when they lost 20 and were relegated from the top flight. Didn't lose as many points. And here's a stat for you, which I saw. During the season, in terms of what you've had to endure in the Premier League, Ipswich were in the lead more than Man United were this season. 17%, I think, Ipswich are in the lead during games this season. And Man United were in the lead 14%. How bad is that? It's just incredible. Here we go. Yeah, Ipswich were winning games 17.2% this season. Man United were only winning games 14.5% this season of the time. Amazing. Absolutely amazing. Football Gods tied up some storylines this season. Thank you, Luke, for that super chat. It's a great point. Yeah, I mean, clearly a new low for Man United. Must do better. But yeah, as I say, in terms of the drop in points, a couple of teams worse than them. Man City, 20 points. Tottenham, worse as well. But yeah, I think overall, not getting that win, you go like this, don't you? Man United win the trophy, probably do that. But that's not what happened, is it, guys? That's not what happened. So, Man United, you have to go again. Crystal Palace. I was going to put them in can be proud. And I think that's because I think maybe I'm sort of, their stock is too high because of recent events. And so I'm kind of like, is it team of the season? You finished 12th, guys. Like, surely shouldn't be team of the season. But when we look at the stats, you will see that it has been a historic season for Crystal Palace this year. They have obviously won a trophy for the very first time. That's obviously huge. But also, they've earned the most points they've ever earned in a single Premier League season with 53. So, do we put them there? Do we put them in team of the season? I think when you're winning that FA Cup as well, I think they've got to be in the mix. Arsenal and Liverpool. Let's do Liverpool first. Team of the season, obviously. Incredible season. Scored at least twice in 31 different Premier League games this season. The most ever by a side in a single campaign. Obviously one of the nominees. Obviously on the shortlist of those nominees. But there is a question that needs to be answered. And we'll ask that in just a second. Arsenal. So a lot have been talking about who's had a better season, Arsenal or Spurs. And this is the bizarre world we're living in. I agree. There are too many teams in the team of the season. We're going to sort that out. Has it been a poor season for Arsenal? They have finished second, so it's kind of where you wanted to be. So, some form of progression in the Champions League. With that win, you feel like they're sort of ready to go in terms of winning that competition. Arsenal dropped 21 points from winning positions in the Premier League this season. 9 draws, 1 defeat. Their joint most ever in a single campaign. And when I was looking through all the stats, it was interesting to see just the gap between Liverpool and Arsenal. And the XG, I thought was really, really interesting. The expected goals for Liverpool, 83.5. The expected goals for Arsenal, 61.4. Let's see, they scored 86 goals, so we're kind of bang on it, Arsenal. And actually, Arsenal massively overperformed their XG. Well, not massively, solidly, 69, which often can happen with the better teams. But I think that says a lot. Set pieces, they won the set piece title. You'll never sing that. But they didn't get the trophies, obviously, that they want to. And I think unless Arsenal are winning trophies, I don't think we're living in a world where it can be considered a good season for Arsenal now. I think that's almost like the price of success that you've got to pay now. So, in my opinion, it is officially a poor season. That's how I feel. So, team of the season, we've got a lot of teams who've had their best ever season. I think Bournemouth and Brentford are going to have to pop down. I'm sorry. I know as historic as it is, and you finished above Palace winning that FA Cup just changes things, doesn't it? If I'm honest. And I think that's like the FA Cup. Like next year, these teams will be going. Like if you need a motivational thing, like show them the scenes at the Crystal Palace FA Cup final. Because that in the third and fourth round, when you don't, you're like, oh, I'm a bit tired, I don't really want to play. And I'll get you going. Newcastle. Oh, there's 2 for me. Forest should go down 1, people saying. Forest. Okay, here's the question. Right, ready for the question? At the start of the season, what was the most shocking possibility to you? Was it Liverpool winning the league? Was it Newcastle getting in the Champions League and winning the League Cup? Was it Crystal Palace finishing 12th and winning the FA Cup? Or was it Nottingham Forest essentially doubling their points tally and going from 17th to, where did they finish? 7th, right? Something like that. And as I said, winning 19 games. Nottingham Forest won 19 games, 65 points from where they were before. From where, like, a points difference of 29. Which one would you have expected the least? Which one would have given you the highest odds? I think it's a really good question. Because understandably, Liverpool, huge flowers, incredible. Arne Slot's done amazing. But like an incredible squad already, right? He's made integral changes. And in terms of manager of the season, I actually think Arne Slot's probably had the hardest thing to change. I couldn't get past that when I was picking my manager of the season. But in terms of team of the season, when I got asked that question, I was just like, oh, that does tweak it a little bit. It does tweak it a little bit for me. Palace had a better season than Forest. I'm going to let you... So, with that question in mind, who, for you, and if you want to ignore it, who is your team of the season? As historic as it was for Newcastle, I think they're on the up. I'm not surprised. I think they could be outrageously proud. Forest, if you just want to be... You could be clear-cut in the sense of, you know, they didn't get it done. But I just think Forest did an I never would have called that. Palace to finish 12th and win the FA Cup. I think I could believe it. I could see it. Dalen says it has to be Forest, but they'll finish 16th next year. But isn't that the point then? Isn't that the point? Forest spent so much and got a deduction. Yeah, I get that. But honestly, again, going into the start of the season, answer that question before you answer this. Palace have more longevity, but Forest have had a better season. Like, I mean, there's a question there, isn't there? Would Forest fans swap their season for Palace's season? I think they would. Because you obviously get that FA Cup final. That's what it's about. But in terms of going from one place to another place and excelling in a season, I'm incredibly tempted to give it to Forest. Like, I know people don't want that backlash, and I don't want it. But I think that's a really good Liverpool team, like, that maybe needed the right manager. And I think Slot is the manager of the season. But in terms of the team of the season, for me, I think it's Forest. I know that's crazy. I never, ever saw that coming. Every team except Liverpool would swap their places with Newcastle. That's a good point. A total of 0 pundits had Liverpool for the title. Yeah, that's a good point. That is a good point. But I also think people were going... But you could see it, couldn't you? You could see it. I think this is the point. I'm the most shocked by the Forest situation here. So does that mean they deserve to win Team of the Season? I'm going to give it to them. I know that's mad and it's just a bit of fun. But I can't... It's how I feel. What's the one change you guys would make? Let me know. What did Forest win? I know, I get it, and I know it's about trophies, but I've made my take there. I'm not going to move anyone down, but is there anyone here you would move? What's the one change you would make? Go, and I will make that one change. I'm back in my gut. I'm going to go with Forest. Forest team of the season. I think that it's outrageous what they've done this year. Deserve huge credit, huge credit. Hung in there, obviously disappointing end to it, and I think I'll be amazed if they're in the top 7 next year. I just don't see it. I just don't see it at all. So here we go. Newcastle into team of the season. Tottenham up. Few different options here. Interesting. It's all over the place because you're all over the place because this season's been all over the place, hasn't it? Do you know what? The one I'm seeing the most The one I'm seeing the most. I'm seeing Spurs up and Spurs down at the same time. So I'll tell you what I'm going to do. Team of the season, I'm going to put Newcastle up there. Thank you so much for watching. Do me a massive favour and hit the like button on the way out and subscribe to the channel as we look to march to 400k. I love you all. We will speak very soon. Let me know your team and go check out Manual. Click the link in the description and get yourself a bit more knowledge.